The most common question that I hear most graphic designers say is, do I need a ton of experience to even get started in the creative world? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you that you might not need as much experience as you think, and the number one thing that I would recommend that you do have to get started with taking on clients. I've noticed that a lot of us feel that we need to have a lot of social media followers, or we have to have all these things figured out before we even begin. But the truth is, all you really need to nail down is a compelling portfolio. The reason I'm talking about this today is because without an updated portfolio or a compelling portfolio, or a portfolio that showcases your most up-to-date skills, you will not land the clients because they most likely will look at that and feel a disconnect from the portfolio versus your offers and potentially go work with another designer. So even if you don't have a ton of experience, there's ways to make a portfolio really powerful. So let's jump into my tips on this. The biggest solution to fixing this problem is to make a portfolio with the actual designs that you want to create in the future. So if you're putting portfolio pieces up there that you maybe created in college or maybe during a class or something that you kind of just whipped up and you have some emotional attachment to it, but it's really not something that you'd want to do again in the future, then I would recommend not having that on your portfolio. I know from experience it can be hard to not showcase everything and anything, because when I was in college, I did have lots of random portfolio pieces that were things where I just redesigned an existing brand or, an assignment that I got that really wasn't actually showcasing my style, but was something that I could show potential clients. Don't get me wrong, I do feel that in the beginning, it's okay to have a lot of things in your portfolio and maybe not to figure out your exact style yet, but really think about if you enjoyed making that design and if it's something that you would want to do again, because more than likely a client will see that in there and be like, oh, I need something similar to that. And if you didn't enjoy doing it in the first place, you might regret having that on there. So if you are a graphic designer, but you don't have a lot of clients yet or don't really have experience in the designs that you want to work on, then this is typically when I'd recommend using some fake project briefs by either going to some websites that do this or even using AI. If you tell AI to give you a project brief and then you take that and really practice your design skills and figure out ways to really bring that unique style out in the designs, those alone can be amazing portfolio pieces to really showcase your skills, your creativity, and the uniqueness of your design. So don't be afraid to use fake briefs and add that into your portfolio. The main goal and the main solution behind all this is to really make sure that your portfolio feels connected to you and also connected to the audience that you're trying to attract. Now, my biggest tip for portfolios is to be a really great storyteller. I know I talked about this in another video in this mini series about storytelling, how powerful storytelling is, whether it's on social media or when talking with clients, but this is also another opportunity to tell the story behind the projects that are in your portfolio. Some of the most beautiful, powerful portfolios that I've looked at typically have a story behind how the relationship was formed with the client, and maybe even behind the scenes videos of how you created the client project, really showcasing how you and the client connected to collaborate and make a beautiful brand design or website design will really help the client know, like, and trust you even more. So you don't have to copy everyone's exact portfolio style. You can really use this as another way to get creative with it if you want to do some really cool animated videos, or to maybe even do a YouTube video and put that into the portfolio to show how you created it. Also, mock-ups are so helpful and important for making a portfolio feel really professional, so don't be afraid to do that as well. When I first started to get into graphic design, I didn't even have a portfolio website yet. I actually had a PDF and I would print that out when I'd go to interviews, and this PDF really wasn't telling the story very well. There was tons of random projects in there. I mean, at the time it really worked for me because I was brand new into the industry. I was really applying for jobs that were looking for new designers, and it showcased my broad range of services. So it worked in the beginning, but I was starting to get a little bit burnt out because I wasn't really enjoying those projects. I didn't feel aligned with the designs, and I was really craving to work on designs that felt more my style. So I do feel that it's okay in the beginning to really have a broad and really robust portfolio and to not have a really specific design yet, but this is just something to really think about as you get started. Think about what lights you up the most, what gets you excited, what do you want to niche down to? Because when you have those like 2 to 3 specialties in your portfolio and within your website or the PDF print portfolio, if you have those 2 to 3 specialties, it'll be much clearer to the client on what it is that you can provide. And you also are going to be showing up more as an expert within those specialties. But it wasn't until I took all those designs from the PDF, picked the ones that really fit within my style, and gave my portfolio a fresher look that really fit with my designs. That was when I started to attract clients that I really wanted to work with and that I was excited to work with. So this portfolio part of the business is so important. And I don't want you to feel like you need to have all these years of experience. You can literally create the most beautiful portfolio piece within a week or a month and have that on your website to showcase your style. So I'm going to go over to my computer and walk you through a couple portfolio pieces that I have on my website and why I decided to lay it out the way that I did and how I told the story through the portfolio page. So this is my website. If you've not been there before, I have all these tabs up top as well as my portfolio, and I'm using WordPress for my website. I have tons of videos on WordPress. Definitely check those out if you want to see like how I actually build a website on WordPress. But I am using the plugin called Visual Portfolio, and this basically just helps me categorize things like this so I can sort it by brand and web, sort it by logos, sort it by website design, and it just makes it for an easier experience for potential clients, because if they're interested in only website, then they can search for those portfolio pieces that just have that. So this is what my current portfolio looks like. I definitely need to add more pieces to this. I feel like as a business owner, it's so hard to remember to do this when you're focusing on everyone else's designs and websites and projects, but I have so many more to add. But I thought I would show you guys a few of my favorite ones and why I laid it out the way I did. So one of my favorite ones is the Wayfair. This is a brand that actually opened up locally, so I was able to go and physically be there and take actual photography pieces of the branding in use. So that's why it's one of my favorites. And if I did have a lot more local clients, I would definitely do that again, because I love being able to, see the logo in use and actually like be there. But I have a little bio up here, just a little bit of information about why they reached out to me, who they are, and then also a link to go and view the full website. Because this is a branding website, I always like to include the link to go check it out. But if we scroll down, we'll see these 2 photography images. These are the ones that I actually captured myself. And I always like to make sure that they're the same size and the same format. That way it looks consistent on the page. But I really love how this came out because I took them myself and I'm not always doing mock-ups. I feel like this portfolio piece just stands out a little bit more. And then I also took this photo, but just overlaid that primary logo on top. And then I also took this picture when I was in Lake Tahoe, which I like to go there a lot with my family. I had this really fun idea of like taking the pieces and the creativity that I've made and like taking photos of it in nature. It was really hard to do because the shadows of the tree and everything, but I do love that I took this photo and it's not a mock-up once again. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this portfolio piece in general, just to give you an idea of how it can look if you take the photos yourself. And then I have the color palette, and then I also have another photo with the logo and a little bit of a mock-up here of what I provided her for the social media ideas and the logo again. And then we also have a screenshot of the full website design. If you guys are interested in taking a full screenshot of websites, then you should definitely get this Google extension that is called Go Full Page, because you can take a photo of the entire page and it's so easy to just add that to your portfolio. So that is definitely one of my favorite pieces, but I also have some more recent ones that I've really enjoyed putting together, like this one here for Allison Bits Photography. I always like to get some testimonials from my clients, and I've been really trying to include that more in the portfolio pages. So once again, up here we have a little bio, a little bit of information about what her business is, and also the services that I provided her. And then I also have been linking their Instagram lately, just so people, because I've noticed that if clients are interested in working with you, they're probably going to want to go and see the clients that have used your work and see if they're actually, putting that into real life forms. So it's been pretty cool because she did use the logo, she posted about it, and it's part of her page. So I do feel like it's important to include at least either the website design or the Instagram page so they can go take a look at it. But right down here we have the logos. I just laid out this page a bit different. This is my newer format of the portfolio pages. But we have the logos, and I also pulled the testimonial here. So one of the questions I ask my clients is, what have you been able to achieve with your new website and branding? And she said this right here. So I like to include testimonials throughout the page to break it up and then also to really speak to those potential clients. And we have some more logos here, the brand illustrations, and the full website design. And then I also have a testimonial here at the end. So this client, I definitely tried to piece together some more of those feedback pieces and break up the page that way. And I also did the same thing for this client here. For Michael Werner Photography, I included this mock-up of all the pieces I created. Similar layout here. We just broke out the page by doing a little testimonial. And then again, at the end, another testimonial. So it really depends on how you want to lay out the page, what you want to include, and what you have to show. But I do love to, put it in mock-ups or just have the logo on top of a related image, or if the brand has photography, use that on your portfolio page to really bring the brand completely to life. And yeah, for this one, I explained the brand direction. So I'm still kind of trying to nail down my favorite look of a portfolio page, but I feel like as long as you have a lot of those pieces in there and information about the client, then that alone is going to help potential clients want to work with you. And then also on this, I forgot to show you on I want to say it was this page here. I think I included a YouTube video. So one of the things that I like to do, because I have my YouTube channel, because I like to show like behind the scenes of how I'm creating these brands and how I'm putting it all together, I like to include the actual like YouTube video of how I did that. So for this brand here, I did include the video of me designing this brand and like how I did it. So if you do have videos or things to, complement the page, definitely add it, because at the end of the day, the clients just want to see how you work, what you're going to provide them, and like the overall style. So I really wanted to include this as a part of the mini series on 5 big mistakes we might be making as graphic designers, because I truly feel that a lot of us get so overwhelmed with all the things that we think we need to have perfect before even beginning. I cannot tell you how many people I've met that just stop themselves from moving forward because they feel that they don't have either enough experience, maybe they don't have a social media following yet. They just are stopping themselves from moving because they're comparing themselves to other designers and other designers' clients, all those things. Just remind yourself and remember that we all started somewhere. When I first started, like I said, I had the PDF portfolio that wasn't even aesthetic looking. It just had really random projects in there. But that's how I started, and that's how I got my foot in the door with clients and word of mouth and referrals. So we all start somewhere. Just because you might not know your style yet, or maybe you don't have a website yet, just start. You want to make sure that you step out of your comfort zone and try some projects completely on your own with full creative freedom, because that's really when you're going to get in touch with that unique style that you have as a designer. So don't get hung up on not having a lot of experience. Just start building your portfolio, start finding your style, start figuring out what services that you want to specialize in, and really showcase that in your portfolio. I would suggest having a website portfolio because it is something that you can own. Social media is a great way to showcase your portfolio and your work and your pieces, and so is companies like Behance or Dribbble or Pinterest. But at the end of the day, you don't own any of those companies or those websites. So if Pinterest were to go away tomorrow, we would lose all those pieces. So that's typically why I like to have everything in my website, especially the projects that I'm most excited to share. That way they can see everything behind my brand, and also I won't lose those projects because the website is something I own. So if you feel ready to start attracting your dream clients and working on your portfolio, then definitely stick around for more videos on my channel, because I'll show you guys behind the scenes of my branding projects and really how to tell that story of the projects that I'm working on. Be sure to stick around for those, but also be sure to join the waitlist. I am creating a community right now where I'll be sharing a lot of the behind the scenes on how to create a portfolio website and all the things that you need to know on how to start gaining that experience and learning how to become a designer, and the things and tips I would give beginners as well as those who are already in the business. So be sure to join the waitlist so you don't miss out on that. I will have a sale going on when it first launches, but definitely join the waitlist so you don't miss the founding member pricing. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you want to see the other videos in this mini series, be sure to check this one out right here.